Over the years, decades even, there have been a number of criticisms lobbed at various games. Some go in depth and explain why certain aspects of a game fall short. However, there are certain criticisms that can be overused without proper justification to back them up. Let's take a look at 15 such examples here, and feel free to disagree, this is just our opinion after all. Not enough content. In this day and age, the amount of value that can be had from a game is frequently discussed. We often hear about some games not having enough content. This isn't to discount complaints against a game like, say, Anthem or Diablo 3 at launch, which were touted as having strong endgames. Setting expectations is key. However, if you pick up Destiny 2 today, run through all post-launch content and then complain about not having enough content, maybe it's better to move on and play something else. This game is too short. In the case of titles like Inside and Owlboy, it's not about the amount of content, but how it's utilized. These games deliver memorable, finely crafted narratives and excellent gameplay mechanics. They don't need to be padded out or overstay their welcome. If a short game does justice to its narrative, that's more than enough. There's too much to do. On the flip side, how many times have you seen someone completely overwhelmed by the sheer number of things to do? A game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey was criticized for being bloated and simply having too much of the same content. It's one of those things that's a hallmark in certain genres. Loot grinding titles fall into the same trap. You kind of accept it or don't after a point. This game is too easy. Yoshi's Crafted World is too easy. That means it's not fun, right? Wrong. Not every game has to be a do-or-die challenge that requires you to memorize patterns for hours or grind for good gear for a chance at victory. Some games can be relaxing in their own right, even if that makes them easy. This game is too hard. On the flip side, a game can still be fun even if it's too hard. Take Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, for instance. It's a gorgeous, atmospheric game with fun movement mechanics, but also has bosses that can take you down in just a few hits. Believe it or not, some people find it fun to overcome that challenge, even if you find it too hard or too frustrating. I can't get into the mechanics, hence it's bad. I'll be the first to admit, I can't get into Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Call me bad or just unwilling to unlearn all the Dark Souls instincts, but I can't master the mechanics even if they start to click on other occasions. And guess what? That doesn't make Sekiro a bad game. The best part about gaming today, if you can't properly get into a game for whatever reason and it's frustrating you, there are hundreds of other games out there that you'll find fun instead. All DLC should be free. Downloadable content has always been a sketchy concept, but believing all DLC should be free isn't the right course to dealing with it. If a developer like, say, Paradox Interactive has been allocating essential features to paid DLC, it's fair to speak out. This is especially fair considering how much DLC has been produced thus far and how expensive it can all be. But when a developer has been offering lots of free updates for a year and then announces paid DLC, as was the recent case with Moonlighter's upcoming Between Dimensions, either buy it or don't. Slamming the developer for not making it free isn't the play. The ending sucks, hence the whole game or franchise is ruined. Mass Effect 3 was a pretty good game, one that transitioned more into third-person shooting but still featured enough RPG mechanics to add depth and variety. It had great missions, great writing, awesome companions, solid multiplayer, so on and so forth. Did the ending suck? Sure. Was the whole experience and franchise ruined as a result? No, because your own personal experiences and memories will still remain. A slate of underwhelming endings can't take that away. Open world games are boring. Open world games make up one of the best genres out there. They're easy to get into, offer lots to explore and do, and present amazing vistas. Nonetheless, some may dismiss an open world title simply because the format has become boring. With titles like Horizon Zero Dawn, Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild releasing in recent years and doing well, the genre isn't going to be any less hyped going forward. Yes, even if you're personally bored with it. Doesn't do enough things. Speaking of Ubisoft, don't you just hate it when they do the same things over and over again? Criticizing Ghost Recon Wildlands simply because they don't do anything new, repeating the same open-world conventions, isn't completely invalid. However, both games sold extremely well. Besides, what's wrong with sticking to a familiar format, especially if your audience finds it fun? It's not on X platform. "It's not on a particular platform" has been used to criticize a fair number of titles, but forget the Steam versus Epic Games Store debate for a moment. This has been a criticism for as long as the console wars have been a thing. A particular game is a timed exclusive for Xbox One, it's not on PS4 or PC at launch, so it's terrible. The Super Nintendo doesn't have Sonic the Hedgehog, it's terrible. The debate of a game not being on a platform for timed or permanent reasons will never end, but that doesn't determine its quality. It's free to play, which means it's pay to win / not good. This generalization is usually made based on microtransaction systems and pay-to-win mechanics inherent in some free-to-play titles. Games like The Elder Scrolls Blades certainly don't help in that regard either. That being said, there are plenty of free-to-play games that don't stoop to pay-to-win mechanics while also being great games in their own right. Walking simulators aren't games. Walking simulators aren't actually games was a major debate over the years, and while it's become slightly less hefty, there are some who still believe it. Which is funny because Soma had some good stealth and puzzle elements along with walking. Journey had platforming and walking. And Everybody Goes to the Rapture had a strong mystery component along with walking. If your hands are on the controller or keyboard and mouse moving a character around, it's a game. No single-player campaign equals bad. The sentiment of no single-player campaign equals a bad game comes up more than you'd think, especially in this day and age of multiplayer-focused games. Look at some modern shooters who were criticized for not having a single-player campaign. They subsequently went on to become one of the franchise's best titles in years. Look at Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege, which are still going strong without single-player campaigns. Why is that? Because multiplayer games can be pretty good in their own right. I don't like X, hence this game sucks. Ah, the ultimate criticism. This argument could be applied to any number of games and genres. Persona 5 for its pacing, Red Dead Redemption 2 for its controls, Moonlighter for its simple combat-to-item selling loop. There are several games out there that might not suit you for any number of reasons. Some of those reasons might even be valid, but lo and behold, that doesn't mean these games suck. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from Gaming Bolt, please hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to switch on the notifications bell icon next to it. That way you'll never miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.